Welcome to Bunch Formation, your newest favorite college football show. I am Chris Vannini, and we do not have any politicians on the show today.
And I am David Ubben. Chris, dude, are you raising your voice at me right now? It's on camera. Everybody can see it, man. Come on.
How about Mick Cronin, huh? Calls out a reporter one game, beats Illinois the next game.
Also, maybe I'm just out of it, but I didn't see a lot of name checking the reporter. I was very curious, and I still don't know who was.
I believe it was Matt Wenzel. It was Matt Wenzel from M Live, covers Michigan State. It's a long show. We don't need to get into it. But
anyway, go ahead.
Welcome to the show, Jason Kirk, a newsletter editor for The Athletic, the Shutdown Fullcast, and the only person who currently basically controls the name Until Saturday. Jason, welcome.
Hey, what's up, y'all? As the caretaker of the Until Saturday brand, I just want to say David Ubben is my favorite bald college football podcaster.
Until Saturday, never heard of it.
Make sure you are following the newsletter that Jason runs. He has been doing an excellent job at it.
It is very good.
I too often forget that we are coworkers and that we see each other in Miami at the national championship game and spend the whole time talking about college football 26, which is what we are here to do. This is going to be our long-term review of college football 26, EA Sports, the video game. We're also going to talk a little bit of college hoops, news in terms of the video game, and some news around 2K Sports. David has a salad dressing take that we're going to get a third party in Jason his opinion on.
It's more of a cultural norms take centered around salad dressing, but we'll get into it.
We'll get into it later. But first off, guys, the Olympics just ended. Have you ever played an Olympics video game? I remember having Salt Lake 2002 for, I think, PS2. I remember it being incredibly hard. Have you guys
I played a few of them over the years. They're all bad. The Sonic one is okay, but they're generally all bad because, like you said, Chris, they are all very hard, and there's not a lot of depth to them, generally, in my experience.
There was like a PlayStation 1 snowboarding game, right?
1080 snowboarding?
Yeah.
That was N60. I had Cool Borders 2.
It was like the Tony Hawk era. They tried snowboarding too. It did
SSX Tricky, like the greatest snowboarding game of all time.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm with you on that.
But the Olympics,
it was better than Wave Race.
I have that on my phone.
Wave Race. Wave Race is a very good game.
I have Wave Race on my phone. on my
Wave
Delta
Race is still
emulator.
in the league? I love it. I got to download Wave Race. I got to take it back.
Yeah.
I will be here for all Pilot Wing slander, but I will not stand for any Wave Race slander.
In the coming weeks, we will have episodes on the coaching carousel, some interviews coming up, and more as we get into spring football. If you want to jump ahead, check out the show notes. We got some timestamps in there, and send all your emails and feedback and everything to bunchformationpod@gmail.com. We need some new nominations for Remember Some Guys. We are getting pretty low, so if you have some nominations, send them in. Follow us on all the social medias, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Please leave us a 5-star review. We read it on the show. So, before we get into college football 26, we're going to talk about basketball. And to do that, we go into the media scrum.
That's why I don't read the newspaper. Because it's garbage.
2K Sports has added 16 college basketball teams to NBA 2K26. In the My Team and My Career modes, it's just current and some former players. And in these two modes, you can't really play games with teams against each other. You get cards of players, and you do that, or you're an individual, create a player, and you can play on a college. No announcement yet of a future standalone game, only that there will be a college basketball experience rolling out larger in 2027. The plan has always been 2027 is when they're going to go hard on it. This was just kind of a tease for 26. If you don't remember, last summer, EA Sports teased that they were going to bring back college basketball because of the success of college football 26. But they were going to need exclusive rights. And instead, 2K went out and got like 100 or so schools to agree to a deal to be an NBA 2K. And when EA Sports saw that, they backed out, said, we don't want to do this anymore. So I don't believe we're getting a standalone basketball game, but we do have some college basketball. I haven't played it. I don't have NBA 2K26. David, you're giving a thumbs down. What's your thoughts?
I mean, 2K as a game has gotten progressively worse over the years. I've kind of checked out on it. But I just don't like this halfway. It seems like from what I've seen, we're not even getting the real arenas, which is kind of a big part of college basketball. I think this is just a lot different than. Do you remember the year in Madden when you could play the college football playoff?
Yes.
That was like there was nothing else there, so there's no other possibility of anything else. You could use the college trademarks, and it was sort of okay. But this, I think the combination of the backstory for how all this has come together and just my belief that this is going to be a subpar product, not worth your time, has left me frustrated with the entire scenario. And how much I did love like 2K7, 2K8, those games back in the day, which were truly great.
20 years ago, David.
Don't say that. That's in my head. It was like 8 or 9 years ago, legitimately. But those games were like, wow, I'm shook now. I got to recover. But those are like great games that had like the full college basketball universe and were really some like core memories of playing college basketball on a video game. But I just don't. It's sad that, like you said, Chris, it's been 20 years, and I think we're going to get a worse product, which makes no sense to me.
Yeah, it sucks that like the Madden thing when they first started teasing college teams was like, okay, there's legal things there, right?
Yes.
They couldn't have a college football game at the time, but they could start inching us the way there, where now there's all these other business things going on where it's two companies fighting over the rights to all of college basketball or what have you. And it's a tease for a different reason, and it feels less like a tease and more like a withholding, you know? Like
Yes.
it feels like, okay, you don't have to give us just the 5 teams or whatever. You could give us the entire college basketball game, but I mean, I think the time is right for the college baseball game to come back with the punk rock soundtrack and everything. But
I did love that game. That that is a classic that has been lost to time. I fear kids today don't know about a college baseball video game.
Kids today would not believe that was real. That there was a
Shout out to my guy Kyle Peterson. And who's the other guy? The older guy on the call in that game.
I do think that the three of us grew up in the greatest generation of sports video games. That period in the 2000s. Yes, it's 20 years ago. Yeah, we're old and washed now. But you had college baseball, arena football, MVP baseball 05. I still have it. I still have my PS2 and I play it. Greatest baseball game of all time. You had the Madden and the 2K going against each other for a period of time there.
Shout out 989 Sports.
There was the Madden coach game.
Yeah,
at
like
one point.
EA had to compete against itself in NFL games alone, right? Like now it's Madden competes against college football, kind of, right? But back then it was Madden competes against 2K. There's also NFL Street is around, and there was
NHL Hits.
More. Yeah, like any sport, you had the sim and the silly version.
This video games is only the latest symptom of my long-standing take, which I still think is real and is not a symptom of myself getting older, which is that everything is worse than it was 20 years ago.
It's crazy how, like, it just so happens that when I happened to be an adolescent was when everything was good. I'm the first person to ever feel this. No one has ever thought that before me.
Exactly.
But the funny thing is, we're right.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I mean, SSX Tricky I just mentioned, one of the greatest snowboarding games of all time. That was EA Sports, I believe. I have that right. But like, I still have 2K College Hoops 2K7, the one with JJ Redick on the cover. And then
Classic game.
Last year, I bought NCAA Basketball 09, the one with Kevin Love on the cover. That's the one that O'Bannon sued over. He's in the game. And one of
ironic because it's a terrible game. The EA Sports College Basketball was not good there at the end. Also, I was reminded of a game. Chris, did you ever play College Slam? Speaking of the golden age of video games, we had a college basketball video game that was a takeoff of NBA Jam. Incredible product.
I don't remember
greatly
this.
loved. You never played College Slam, Chris? You're exposing
was it real
yourself as a
people?
non-bowler. No, because it was college video games. But it had real schools and real trademarks.
It was
But
like
just
number
NBA Jam,
12
college
and whatever.
players. Yeah, legitimately. But a great game. Shout out to College Slam. Real ones, no.
So, and that's part of the thing. Like, now EA has the exclusive for Madden for college football. 2K has the exclusive for NBA. And so these things, they're no longer competing against each other. And what EA Sports wanted to do with college basketball was they were the only, like, CLC put out proposals to game companies, and EA Sports was the only one that said we will include every single Division I men's and women's basketball team. It's like 750 teams or something like that. No one else was willing to do that. And the CLC recommended to schools, take this one. It'll be the best one for everybody because it'll have everybody in it. It'll be made like College Football 26, essentially. But instead, we don't know the details. But apparently, 2K gave enough of a good offer that the top schools decided to go with NBA 2K so they could be in the NBA game. And it was going to come out quicker. It was going to take several years for EA Sports to bring it out. And EA Sports said, all right, then we're not doing it again. Because the college basketball game space is not very big. Like, the games went away because they weren't selling well. Like, it was even before O'Bannon and all that kind of stuff. Like, football still went on a couple of years for the basketball games went away. So the idea of there being 2 games out in the market decided it probably wasn't good business, which they may have something to that. So any final thoughts on the lack of college basketball? I don't play. I'll probably break out NCAA basketball 09 on my Xbox 360 and just play it around the tournament because it's fun. But it's not a game that I find myself coming back to very often like I do college football.
I think it is interesting, the games that have such a shelf life. Like, I knew people who in like 2008, 2009 were still playing NFL 2K5. And I felt that way about, MVP baseball, like you mentioned, the college baseball game. I played that several years after it was dead. The college basketball game, stood the test of time. And it just feels like we're not going to get that. And I find it mostly sad, but also kind of infuriating because I feel like in a free market we could get that, and we're just not going to get that.
It's tough because, like, I haven't enjoyed playing 2K for years and years. I don't know if I've enjoyed an NBA game since NBA Live forever ago. If I said the name of the last year of NBA Live, I enjoyed playing. You would sign me up for Social Security. But, like, imagining the college basketball version of that I would enjoy. I mean, like, the college basketball game I would like would be like Football Manager. Like, I just want a spreadsheet of recruiting. And I'm sure we'll get into this, but Ubben, I know that's probably not going to be your thing.
Let's be careful.
I would love a program building college basketball sim where I could take like the 350th best D1 program and build them up. But if I have to actually control the jump shots, like, it is hard for me at this point to imagine that a video game can make that part fun just because 2K has been so bad at it for so long.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So let's move in now to talk about College Football 26. Came out last summer during media days. I played it a bunch in that like month or so before the season, and then the real season comes and we didn't have a ton of time to play. Jason is in our media dynasty, by the way. That's part of the reason he's here. He is the Texas A&M Aggies.
We have teased our listeners, Jason, with some tidbits from the dynasty. We have every time Chris and I play, we do stream it on the channel. So any tidbits from the league that you feel like our listeners should know?
I mainly focus on recruiting. All my XP is going into recruiting. Chris and I have battled for the almost top of the recruiting standings. I got Chris in our first season around. He got me in this past one. But we are both chasing LSU, manned by Yahoo's Charles McDonald, who is again whooping ass in it. I did manage to beat him on the field a few days ago, so maybe that'll help. I had a lot of kids in town for that game, so maybe that'll give me the edge. But between like Ubben and Auburn, who is controlled by Josh Black, Chris and others, I'm not exactly the top on the sticks anymore. So really, I'm focusing on recruiting, and that's going above average for me. So that's my contribution to the league.
So like the dynasty was the only reason I was able to kind of stay with the game during the season. In 25, CFB 25, I just didn't have the time until we got out of the season. But post-season, after the last month and a half, we have been rolling through seasons and playing a lot here. And I figured now is a good time to kind of do a long-term review of the game, what we like, what we don't like. And let's start with gameplay, the actual playing of the games within the game on the field. David, as someone who won a national championship in our dynasty
twice,
what do you like? What do you don't like?
So this is a ball nowhere's game. I think more so than most of the Maddens in the past. certainly in 25. And one of the things that I really have disliked about Madden, it's why I legitimately quit playing Madden, and it was one of my main complaints with 25, is once you got up into the upper echelon of playing online, it was just the same guys running cheese plays with a couple tweaks, and it was almost impossible to defend. You needed like a miracle defensive stop to flip a game. You had to basically play perfect on offense. It wasn't very fun because, to me, what I like about the game and what I like about football is there is, to some degree, a ceiling on the skill level. You can only get so good at the game. And then after that, it's a chess match. Can I diagnose what you're doing? Can I see what you're doing? Can I read it pre-snap? Can I see what you're doing post-snap and adjust and have answers to it? That's why I like it. Not these guys that have like 2 plays that they run. And it was kind of broken. And the way that a lot of that stuff works is you have 1 or 2 tweaks to a play, and it makes it almost unstoppable. So I think that they heard this complaint a lot because online you do have to play half of your games on the road. And I kind of hated it at first because it's really hard to win on the road and it felt a little bit imbalanced. But I think what they did, and maybe that was on purpose or maybe it was a happy accident, was it eliminated a lot of that because you can't really make tweaks. And it's when you start a game and you play on the road, it's really hard to change a play to do really anything. You've got to just be able to run your stuff. Sometimes you can go fast and help that a little bit. And I think what the result was is you had to get better at sort of executing the base stuff and having the things that you do, found the things that you do well. And I've really enjoyed it. And then a lot of the stuff that I hated about Madden in general, the linebackers making crazy picks, the no-show, no CINTs. I feel like they've eliminated that. And I think the game took a huge step forward in the actual gameplay in a way that is hard to tell, in the first month. You kind of have to see it over several months. And I like the direction that it has gone in that if I'm getting toasted online by some guy, I want it to be because he can see what I'm doing and he's just better than me.
Tell the people who you recently played online.
Oh, I don't know who it was, but I played a guy. He had 108 national championships. I have one that I won in like varsity mode. This guy was unbelievable. I almost scored a touchdown on him. It was wild. So I don't know what that guy, I don't know. I have never seen somebody with more than like 5 national championships. Our colleague Sam Khan said he played somebody with 20. I laughed out loud when I saw 108 national championships. I was like, because if you haven't played online, like, that is so impossible to even fathom. Again, I have one that I won at like varsity level, and I felt pretty proud of that. It's incredibly hard to win a national championship. I've gotten to the national championship on All-American twice and lost, and it was crushing. So it's just really hard to do.
We'll talk more about online specifics later, but something I love about this game, and it's even better in 26 than it was in 25, is running the ball. Like, it's something for a long time nobody ever did. It was pointless. It didn't worth anything. But like, they have done a really good job of setting up runs where you can run the ball, and you can't just run into the pile. If you wait for your block, you'll find holes, and that's what I mostly do when we play. And some people get annoyed by it, but I like running the ball and finding holes and wearing Jadarian Price down until he has no health left all the way in the national championship game. Like, I really enjoy running the ball, and it opens up a lot of things I like to do on offense. That's been pretty smooth. I do think the computer AI of the secondary is terrible, like, especially in run defense. It's like it's gotten worse almost since the game first came out. I'm very bad at playing defense. I still can't figure out how to play well against users, but even when a computer safety's coming down on an angle, it's like terrible. And that seems like it almost got even worse. But Jason, what do you think about the actual game part?
So I mean, I agree with you on like the running the ball. That became much more of a viable tactic this year. It's tough in our league because we're all like top 10 recruiters, so everyone has a really good defensive line. But that means when we're playing,
not everybody.
Well, but that's because, folks, Ubben just gives up on recruiting and abandons a school and takes over another one every couple years. So
we'll talk about Dynasty and recruiting too in a minute.
But like, yeah, running the ball is fun. Like, I love running the ball like 20 times per game. And in a 20-minute game, that's a lot. Passing deep is so much harder for me than it was in like Madden 10, 15, 20 years ago. Like, I used to be awesome at it, and now I'm just like, I'll try it once a game. right? I like to use mostly the widespread hypo offense, like to give me like lots of running lanes up the middle. But like that's the kind of stuff that you couldn't really think about in
Yeah.
last year's version of the game because it's just like running's not going to work, you know. So I like that part as far as the gameplay goes. I like that running is hard. Running is viable. Passing is, you know, I like the quick routes. I like the option routes. I don't throw it deep as much as I used to. Maybe I'm just old. I don't know.
Same. David, some of the adjustments they made this time, like the pass protection stuff, the pre-snapped
Love it.
disguises, you love to do that.
So I adjust protections a ton if you can at home. Again, this goes back to the playing on the road. But yeah, I adjust a ton of protections based on kind of what I see pre-snap. I do, hot route. Like if I see just a look pre-snap that I'm just like, well, I can just hot route this and go. Like if you're playing soft and inside, like just hot route to a speed out, and it's like you're cooked. There's nothing you can do. You lined up out of way. But I think like being able to do all of that stuff, I loved. I mean, they added coverage shells last year. I like that a lot. I feel like it's really underutilized. I don't know why people don't use more because everybody and it's actually a huge advantage against users and online because nobody uses it. And it's like if I'm showing one high, you'll play a really good player and he's like, oh, it's definitely either cover 1 or cover 3. And then I'm shifting into quarters or shifting into cover 2. You get them to throw some insane passes where it's like clearly your brain exploded because I just changed my coverage shell pre-snap and people don't do that. You just aren't expecting it. And I love it because that's real football. I mean, it's disguising. I mean, I tell Chris all the time, it's like my entire defensive philosophy is I want to make all the things I do that are the same look different. And all the things I do that are different looks look the same. Like you've seen it 100 times. It's going to be something different. And like, that's football. Again, this is why I like the game. And I think that they emphasize that in the game.
David's up on the chalkboard giving us a clinic here at the convention. Is there anything you don't like with the play? Like I have not, like Jason has had, I believe the game just like closes out on you, your connection in game in the Dynasty.
That's been,
I've not had that happen to me.
I haven't had that happen.
It's been a weirdly frequent problem. Like it happens in Dynasty. It's happened in user games, computer games, and it doesn't happen when I play other games. It's just this one specifically. It's been weirdly like I don't know. But I mean, as far as the gameplay goes, like my only complaint is I can't throw deep, and I think that's partly a skill issue. And like I don't know, I score. It takes me 17 plays, but I score, so that I'm whatever. We play grunt ball. It's fine. Like defense is defense, it feels like if I give up a score, I know why. Like it doesn't feel like there's just unstoppable plays. It feels like, oh, I should have had my safeties play back deep, or you've been doing a lot of crossing routes. I should have brought my zone defender in closer. It like things feel diagnosable.
I think
Yes.
I thought it was maybe a glitch in the early days, and now I think it might just be the game, which I kind of appreciate it. If you make too many pre-snap adjustments on defense, your responsibilities go haywire, and guys don't know what they're doing, and you have to.
Which is pretty realistic.
That's the thing. It's like it was annoying the first couple times. It's like, okay, I'm going to do a quick QB contain. I'm going to shade down, and I'm going to do a couple other things, like maybe throw a stunt in there, something like that. And then, but like if you do that, especially if you have match coverage, like your secondary will freak out. And like if that happens, then I just have to quickly audible to like something base and just run that. And like I don't know if that's a glitch, but I appreciate that that's pretty realistic to college football. So as annoying as it is, as somebody who's trying to do a bunch of crap before the snap, like it does feel real to me because it's like, oh, you see that all the time. And I do have a lot of busts on defense because of that. Like my coverage, like if I don't see, I'm trying to check. I have my play art on like all the time. That's why I'm not very good at local games. It's why I'm much better playing like, what is it called? Remote games. Because I have my play art up a ton. But like, I've appreciated that, but it has been annoying. So if it's a glitch, please fix it. But if it's not, you may have tripped and fallen into something that's a little bit more real.
I mean, I think it's great.
Same with the offense.
That's how
too.
it should be, right? Like, yeah, like the audibles. If the clock's ticking down, you call an audible, you're gonna get a false start. Like,
You get a false start every time.
It's college football. It should break. right?
Mhm.
Like you shouldn't be able to like, okay, we're going to customize this play in 17 plays. Like every player on the field is Peyton Manning.
Mhm.
Like it should fall apart. I think that's good.
My
Mhm.
biggest glitchy or whatever part with the game is it's like a 50-50 chance, not even. It's probably a 25% chance when I turn on the game, I can just go into our dynasty and it's fine. There's either the controllers not being recognized by the game, even though it is being recognized by the system, or it's not connected to the EA server and I have to just reboot the internet or something like that. Or my dynasty is just not there. I got to quit the game and open up again. It's like a 1 in 4 chance that everything opens fine. I don't know why. I know some of you guys, other guys in the dynasty have had the problem as well. That's probably my biggest issue. If I turned it on right now, not a good chance I could just immediately go into the dynasty. I'd have to restart something. So that is my biggest annoyance. On the dynasty front, let's move into dynasty. This is the reason, this is what I spend most of my time doing. It's the reason I love the game back in the day. It's what most of us old heads love to do. I think the biggest thing, having the online crossplay dynasty now in 26 is a game changer for me because I couldn't do a dynasty with a lot of you guys before.
Yeah,
you
I
were
did it in
PS2,
Madden
PS5.
years ago with some college friends. But again, the game was just subpar, so it kind of broke up. And also, I just don't love pro football in the same way. And I'm not going to talk about which former Texans quarterback I developed a strong attachment to and won a couple Super Bowls with. But can we start with the coaching carousel? That seems like a weird place to start, but
Well, yeah.
like
One sec. I'll just. But I say that
as the person who's made use of it.
it's infuriating. I get mad
hold
thinking
on.
about it.
I bring up the crossplay dynasty because like I fell off. I didn't get back into the CFB 25 at the end of last football season because it was what it was. Now I have a connection to all of you guys and we can keep this going. We're going to keep it going all year. So that's been a lot more fun for me. That was a big ad for CFB 26 that wasn't in there in 25. And of all the places to start elsewhere on Dynasty, I guess we'll start on coaching carousel. David,
So,
what did you want to say?
College football is a results business, and there are very bad football coaches who have gotten very good jobs because they won. And I feel like some of these metrics, it gets too locked in. The coaching carousel is messed up, and a lot of the like player like happiness. Like so, right now, okay. I am at Arkansas. Kenny Minchie is my starting quarterback. He is currently number 1 in the Heisman, and he is mad because he has a deal breaker that his playing time is F-, and he wants an A-. What does that even mean? I don't know. Like, what are you talking about, dude?
Okay, that's not the coaching carousel, but okay.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying that's like super weirdly broken, and a lot of the portal decisions like don't make any sense. But anyway,
yes,
to lay out what happened in the coaching carousel.
Well, hold on. Let me play off of that. What you just said there, because remember, I won the Mackey Award in the first year of our current dynasty with the tight end at Oklahoma, and he went in the portal for pro potential. He had to go somewhere else to play,
crazy.
even though he won the Mackey Award for it. That was annoying.
If it's like somebody outbids you or like more money or something like that, then
I don't know.
Okay.
I sort of like all the rationale they give for transferring. I'm like, okay, we know what this really is. It's NIL, right? Like,
yeah,
right?
Guess,
That's how I look at it. Like, you can call it whatever you want, but the Mackey Award winner
fair.
got paid more money to go because, like, what is it really? He was going to go learn how to block at Iowa, right? It's the only other explanation.
So the coaching carousel. Okay, so the first 2 years of our dynasty. Okay, I win the national championship. I lose in the national semifinals at South Carolina. We're going to talk about the recruiting later. It's an issue. I don't really know how to do it. I haven't really done it. The auto recruiting is another thing that's broken. I would at least like replacement level auto recruiting.
Are you going to talk about the carousel? What are you doing?
Well, I'm explaining why this was an issue because I didn't want to.
The reason you had to go in the carousel was because of you declined to recruit.
My family was very happy in Columbia. We've loved the weather. We've loved the people. I was not looking to leave. But basically, the auto recruiting just like tanks your team. So my team was falling apart. I was like, this is not fun. I saw it in year 2. So I was like, this team is – God bless Dylan Stewart and Nick Harbor because without those guys, we would have been terrible. Anyway – so I wanted to leave for another job. The only jobs that were available to me were offensive coordinator at SMU and Akron head coach because my guy was like a pretty new head coach and didn't have enough quote unquote coach prestige despite winning the national championship and getting to the national semifinals. And I think winning the SEC. No, I didn't win the SEC in year 2. Anyway, like that's just not how the sport works.
You
Like,
you
can
shouldn't
say, I
have
don't have
you
coach
shouldn't
prestige.
you shouldn't have had to retire and create a new coach in the game. Which
Yeah,
is
so I
what
had
we
to
ended up doing.
retire. I created my guy Dallas Legume and took him to Arkansas, and we're having a restart. But now I'm like having to commit to recruiting and all this stuff. But like, it was that just doesn't make sense that a national championship head coach, the only jobs on the table for him are SMU defensive coordinator and Akron head coach.
I mean, I will say the carousel is probably the single most unrealistic thing. Like, I did a single player dynasty, like, just for fun. Made like Georgia's offensive coordinator who could just farm like insane amounts of XP because like Kirby Smart can recruit whoever he wants and you get credit for that. So like, after just a few years of that, you have like this incredibly overpowered coach. That guy should be able to take almost any job in the country, but he's getting like Hawaii defensive coordinator. Like it's this short list of jobs that are both not big enough and not small enough. Because, like, if I, as Georgia's 5-time national championship offensive coordinator, decide I want to go take over FAU, FAU will sell the university to make it happen.
Yes.
But there's no way for me to do it, right? Like, in the old games, in NCAA 14, it was basically once you're at this level, you can take any job below that level. You can decide I'm going to Eastern Michigan, and they will, like, they will shoot their current coach in the head to make it happen. Whereas now it's like, no, you can be Mississippi State's head coach and that's it. And like you only get a job that's like exactly the level of where you are.
Yes, I do think having the real coaches in the game in CFP 26 now is very funny.
It is
seeing where everybody goes.
Because it falls apart instantly.
Well, it's funny. It's funny. So Sam Conn joined our dynasty in year 3, and he gets to actively blame Mike Norvell for tanking Texas's roster.
Which, like, you can see it. And Dabo Swinney went to Alabama, and they were like right up there with us in the recruiting rankings. So some of it is pretty funny. Let's talk about recruiting. I love it. I love it. I didn't like doing this in the old games, but they have found, I think, a good balance of, for people who like really want to go hard on it, you can do certain things. Like, I don't do sways and stuff like that because it's a little too much for me. But I know, thanks to Charles, when to do the hard sell, how to kind of do some of that stuff, and that's how I've been able to recruit.
I still
pretty
don't.
Well now.
I'm still
it
barely
is
understanding how
like
anything works.
If you're at a top program, like now I'm at Oklahoma, so it's a lot easier. It's harder when you're at a lower, like at Kent State. You don't have any barely recruiting hours to use. But week to week, the act of doing it is not very hard. You don't need to redo it every single week. It carries over. You can change it here and there. Like, I find it to be the perfect balance of what I want in recruiting. Where now, like, I beat Chris Branch, athletic newsletter writer, Tennessee. I then did recruiting, which advanced our week. And then I did recruiting again. I got to do 2 straight recruiting weeks. And I loved that. Like, it's as much fun to me as playing the game. And it was not like that before. Before we get to David, Jason, you seem to like recruiting as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I like the old games 10 years ago, like there was a bunch of different recruiting systems they did in the 2010s in this game, right? And like most of them were, okay, it's a new week, reallocate all your minutes.
Yeah,
now it's
too
they
much
are where they are, and you can just tweak them. You can say like, I'm out of running for that guy. Ooh, we're gonna try and catch up on this guy. We have
Jason's ahead of me for a guy. I'm gonna get out of it now.
Or I mean, shoot, like Oklahoma's become a constant recruiting nemesis for me, so that goes both ways. But like, yeah, it's more like once you have your board set and like, all right, these are the 2025 guys I'm going hard for. After that, it's just adjusting and like, okay, I've given up on all my offensive tackles. Let me go dip into the 3 stars. Let me try and scout the 3 stars, that type of stuff. Or in our first iteration of this dynasty, when we were all lower tier schools. Then it was like, let me strive for a 3-star. But now we're SEC schools, so those are a little bit beneath us. But no, I think the recruiting is. I hope they keep iterating and building and developing it. Like, honestly, sorry, David, but I hope it gets more complex and detailed. But like, it's in a decent place. Like, I like that you can just set it and mostly forget it. But also for me, it is at least as fun as playing the actual football games themselves.
David, what's your problem?
Let me tell you a brief story. So, 9th grade geometry class, right?
Sure.
I don't know I don't know what to tell you, but I spent most of that class just playing graphing calculator games because I discovered that they existed. So shout out to Drug Wars, Block Dude, all of those. Turns out that when we started taking tests and being tested on the things that we were supposed to learn in class, I had no idea what was happening. I very much struggled in that class. I had to readjust my study skills, to say the least. That's how it feels like with recruiting. I don't really know what's going on. I'm trying chasing stuff around. Charles has been kind of helpful, but like I almost can't even really comment on this because like I'm still guessing on what's happening because I hate it so much. But all that is to say that auto recruiting is broken. I feel like if you set auto recruiting, I should be getting like replace. I don't need like a super team roster, but I need like a normal roster commensurate with what would normally happen in a recruiting class. And like auto recruiting seems very, very broken. And when you go into multiplayer Dynasty, like it wasn't as bad in the one players in 25, but I haven't played a one player Dynasty in 26, so I'm not sure. But in 25, it was like my team kind of subsisted and it was fine. But 26, like again, my team had like 55 scholarship players. And like I had to leave. Like South Carolina was still coasting in the top 25 based on reputation. That program, let me tell you, sell your South Carolina 2027 stock because that team is it's going to be rough. But like
I wanted to see you go through. I wanted to
I
see
don't-
how far the smallest.
wasn't-
You're still one of the two best players in the league. I just wanted to see how small
it
of a
was
roster
nothing
until it
but,
actually
like,
impacted
the
it.
problem
Ubben
was
piloting Nick Harbor was all this entire program had.
Yeah, legitimately. But like, so the issue was it wasn't fun. Like my quarterback sucked. He couldn't run. And like last year was a slog to get through. And so going to Arkansas, getting Kenny Minchie, I got some speed at receiver. My defense, we'll fix it. Like that's been a lot more fun because like I feel like I have like not a one hand tied behind my back. But again, like I tried to say like, hey, like when it comes to settings, like I want some speed at quarterback. I need a quarterback with a big arm. I need some speed on the outside. I can make kind of whatever back I have work. I prefer some like speed kind of is where I lean. Like speed kills. But the fact that auto recruiting can't do that, like I don't know why that is exactly.
I do agree that like auto recruiting should get you more than like 4 guys. That's the problem. Like even if they're not great guys, it should still get you bodies. And that was the biggest thing when I first started, and we experienced this. That's why at least you can set a limit on the number of guys you go into the portal, because if you're a G5 team in this game, you will lose everybody in the portal the next year, and you simply cannot make it up because you can only add 35 guys, I think, per year. So that is actually unrealistic now, because now in college football there is no limit on classes. So I do wonder
we can't. There's no
FCS
FCS teams whose rosters we can raid at the G5.
That too. Do you think so? Like, there's no NIL in the game still, and the reason is basically that the current college system keeps changing every year, so they didn't want to build something not knowing
I
what
do
it was
wonder
going
if
to be.
in 27 we're going to have rev share like
If we have like a salary cap and bidding on guys like you do in free agency and Madden, would you welcome that?
Yeah, because that's the game. I want a game to be what college football is, and like that's a careful what you wish for, because coaching college football seems like one of the most well-paid, like terrible jobs in the world right now, and so like maybe having to rebid on all my roster every year is something that would slowly drive me into madness. But like that's kind of where college football is. So it's like, if you just don't have that element at all, like if the portal just didn't exist in college football now, it'd kind of be like, what are we even? We're playing college football in 2010. What is this? What are we doing? And it's like annoying, but it's like that's what the sport is.
It feels like it needs to be, one part Madden salary cap management, which, yes, that is fun for some of us. I would rather do that than play Madden. And also one part, a bit of the old NCAA thing where you could like lie to players.
I missed that. I do miss that.
Yeah. You could say, yeah, sure, of course, we'll make this happen for you. In those games, it was, we will play X number of games in your home state, or blah, blah, blah. Or you will be starting by year whatever. Like, okay, we'll do that, but with money. And I don't want to be stuck paying that player that amount of money. I want it to be up in the air on whether I will pay them and whether they will stay after they have signed the contract. I want the contract to be very fuzzy. I want to be sued, right?
This sounds like college football, for the record.
Yeah, I want to be in court 3 times per off season, both me suing my players to keep them and them suing me to leave.
You got to use your portal stay hours on judges to see if they're going to rule in your favor or not.
Yeah,
I want
instead of say or go, it's sue or counter sue.
I want a cutscene of me at a basketball game hosting a quarterback in the portal while texting another quarterback who's also in the portal. Give me that. And also, I will say,
the judge's gavel just came down. We have a roster spot open.
When I take a new job of me trash talking my rivals at a basketball game, can we do that? I'd like that.
I do wonder what they will add for 27, because technically, like, nothing in college football recruiting will be any different next year. Yeah, I did like that they added your needs at the top of the screen without having to hit a button to figure that out. It's like a little tiny thing that's incredibly helpful to know exactly what you
need. More
need.
helpful for some than others, because I'm still not entirely sure what numbers I need.
South Carolina's needs everything.
Well, I don't track my guys' like eligibility. That's not a head coach's job. I just want to coach ball, and so whatever we got, we got.
Could you add a GM mode? You know, like you have.
I'll just do that.
Especially like considering how
the best version of this
GM it is.
The best version of this is if Ubben and I run the same team. I'll be the GM, you be the coach.
Dude, I had a dream. I don't think I said this in the pod, but I did tell you guys. I had a dream that Ubben and I were running Kentucky in the video game. I was doing the recruiting. He was doing some other stuff. But then we wanted to like pay Gus Malzahn to come out of retirement to coach the team for some reason. I don't know. But like that was kind of what that was. So I do think you can make things more immersive too. It still feels like your team is kind of cut off from the rest of college football as you try to figure out what else is going around in the country. I did like that they added all the trophy stuff in the trophy room and all that stuff. Is pretty good. But I'm spending most of my time in Dynasty now, whether it's the one with you guys or the individual one I'm doing on my own. Anything else on the Dynasty front you guys want to talk about?
I mean, yeah, like there is a ton of little immersion stuff, and like a lot of people online have pointed this out. How like in NCAA 2014 and in some of the earlier ones, there was all this, there was like the magazine and game day,
the Sports Illustrated cover.
Yeah, like there was all sorts of little you feel like you're part of the universe stuff.
Pre-game show.
Yeah, like kind of like you're saying, Chris. And like the trophy room is just one step of the way back toward that. To where it would feel less like me running a team simulator and more like me being partly subject to the whims of college football at large simulator, which is kind of what I want, right? Like, because in single player, it's like I'm going to take whatever recruits I want. I'm going to win all the games, and you know, like I'm going to be Kurt Signetti. And instead, what would be more fun in single player is I'm doing an RPG. I'm battling against a system that does not want me to thrive, but I'm hearing the stories of how that's going for every other coach who is trying to do the exact same thing as me. I mean, Dynasty is honestly where I have in 26 and 25. It's where I've put at least 95% of my time in this game. And I mean, I'm still enjoying it, you know, like, and
me too.
It's largely because of crossplay, like you said. It's because I get to play with y'all.
Yeah.
And like our other friends, that is like the only reason I'm playing this game, and I'm only playing Dynasty. So I mean, generally, I think Dynasty is good enough. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Ever since, I will say, we talked a little about 2K at the top. One of my favorite things in 2K, and I have been saying this for Chris 2.5 years now, since we knew that this game was coming back, that again, my dream in life, Chris, is only one thing. I have one thing left on my bucket list before I die, and that is quite simply, I would like some fake tweets of mine to show up in the game.
We've been told this is happening any year now.
Like, I do think like arguing and the conversation is such a huge part of college football that part of it is missing. You know, like the Sports Illustrated cover, that wouldn't really translate to 2026, but like, you know, there's a number of things that I think would.
A A couple years ago, I bought Madden 2005,
Mhm.
and that is the one that has the radio show talk over your franchise mode. What's his guy's name again? He's still around. Tony Bruno, I think it was.
Oh, isn't he like an Ohio guy? I've heard about this,
think
but I just know that at that point in my life, that was when I was playing NCAA like 2002, 2003. That was 7 or 8 years ago. But I was playing that back then, so I never played.
Yeah,
Madden
I mean,
until the college game died.
I mean, we know that like CBS and On3 and all them would like love to get in. I mean, Bud Elliott's Blue Chip Ratio is in the game. The Athletic now has that partnership with EA where our stories are on the EA's legitimate website. I don't know if that means we can get into the game or not, but
I don't think
it would be fun.
Actually. Really?
Yeah, we announced it in the Slack like 6 months ago. I think I forgot because I asked because I remember seeing it somewhere because then I asked Art, I was like, hey, is this like ethically am I okay to report on the game and everything? I was like, yeah, I'm not involved in that, so it's fine. Oh yeah, no, because
I've never seen this, but
Jason knows this because it was an editor who came to us and said, what do we think about it? And then like 3 months later is when it happened. So I won't say the names or whatever. But anyway, that's off track. That would be fun to get more. I would like some more immersive stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the tweets thing is on EA's mind, like the incorporating social conversation thing into Dynasty mode. Like, we know that is something that they know people want. 2K's done it many times.
Well, people in the media want it because
we certainly want to see ourselves in the game. That's for sure as well.
But like it is like okay, that is selfish, and I'm like upfront about that. But like in the old 2K games, like it was interesting. Like when you had like whatever, I don't remember what the game mode's called. It's basically Road to Glory. Like
shams and stuff are in the game now, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For years now. And I mean, even in CFP 25, before they had real coaches, some of the coaches, their names were spins on media members, on local personalities, right? Like Georgia Southern's coach in CFP 25 was named after Stephen Godfrey, for instance.
Yeah. I'm in the game. I'm in the credits. At least I was for 25.
Yeah.
I haven't checked 26. My name was spelled wrong in the credits.
But like it is definitely a known thing that the like making CFP Dynasty feel like it is a part of an internet is
So
it'd
Ben,
be cool if they get it done.
Ben with EA Sports, if you're listening, reach out. We'd love to get information or something in the game.
Serious.
Tweets in the game.
I might cry if I see a fake tweet of mine in the game. I've been talking about this for 15 years.
I mean, it's I would think it feels to me like a matter of time. I hope they're able to get it done.
Okay, online play.
All right.
I haven't done this a ton since the end of the regular season. David, you do it a ton.
Yeah.
Ari pretty much only exclusively does that. Our friend, you mentioned at the top that you like that it's a little bit more realistic. What's your take on online?
So I do play FIFA. I don't really play it much anymore, but I did back in the day. And the way that they've done online, where you play a 12-game season, is crafted after the way FIFA is done, and you advance.
Road to the CFP, yeah.
Road to the CFP is what it's called. I like it okay. I think the format is pretty good. They randomly extended the quarters from 3 minutes to 4 minutes, like at some point. I don't remember when it was. It was some point during the season.
Because Ari complained about it a lot.
Yeah. And I think that's helped a little bit. I still think it's too short, personally. But I think it's fine. Like I said, a lot of that stuff I talked about at the top, where I've run into a lot fewer cheese players. And when I've played like the elite guys, I haven't played the same, like a lot of guys who are just doing the same stuff. And I think part of that is playing on the road. And part of that is you have enough customizable defenses. Like I can custom stem. Like if you go in your settings, you can set, I want my safeties to play super tight or super loose. You can move your safeties around. You can custom zone. So somebody's doing the same thing over and over again. If you know what you're doing, you can stop it, basically. So I've seen a lot less of that. I think that was the number one thing, because that legitimately is why I stopped playing Madden. Is like when you get to a certain point online, it's like, this isn't fun. Like I want to play a chess match, basically. And so I've liked that. Still don't love the no custom playbooks. Like,
yeah, me too.
I get that they hear that and that's a choice, I just disagree with the choice. I want to be able to customize stuff when I'm playing online, and I respect their decision. I just don't think it's the right one. I get where they're. I appreciate that it is that why they did it. I just totally disagree with that.
The reason why they did it is because they wanted to feel authentic. They don't want you to take the option playbook and put it on Alabama with a running quarterback or something like that.
Yeah.
They want you to get the experience of playing San Diego State. And I understood that and I get it. But now as someone who has gotten back into custom playbooks, now I'm like, oh, actually, I don't like this. I wish I could have this playbook
because
that I made.
I miss my playbook. I do love the levels. I like that the levels are dynamic. They shift as the rankings shifted during the season, not every week, but frequently. And so at the end of the season, like one of the reasons why I started playing with Texas A&M was they were really good on the lines. They had good speed outside, good backs, a fast quarterback, and they were a tier 2 team. So when I played in Alabama or in Ohio State and I beat them, I got more points. But Texas A&M, because they went 11-0 and got to the playoff, they had graduated to a tier 1 team, and it kind of feels crappy playing with them online, but like that's who I play online with, so I'm not going to change. Like I know their personnel super well, I know their playbook super well. Like whenever I choose my online team, part of it is off of the playbook. Last year I was K-State, and when I build my own playbook, I start with that playbook and then I kind of add and subtract stuff that I want, basically. So yeah,
something I noticed, if you guys have noticed it too, especially David, like fewer players online than we got in CFB 25. Like we don't know the numbers on CFB 26, but CFB 25 was the highest grossing sports game of all time. And the numbers of people online were humongous. There was a point during the real football season, I had not jumped into online in a while and went back down to freshman because that's where I was. And I wasn't matching with people. There was nobody.
You couldn't get a game,
there.
Really?
It was like for like a couple of days, and I finally found a couple of people. Did everything I could to move up a level because I was like, I felt like I was going to be left behind, and there wouldn't even be people to play. So I don't know.
That might just be a freshman level thing because I haven't kept track of the whole numbers. Obviously the number of people that are at the Heisman mode is really small, and it does take a little bit longer. I basically lived at like All American or whatever the second level like below that is. Like I've gotten up to Heisman for like 10 seasons. It's hard to stay up there. It's really good players up there. All American, I can get to the playoff from time to time, but I haven't had trouble matching. But I think when the game's been out for this long, I don't know how many people are just starting online. So that might be why there's so few people at freshman. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's what it was. I got to figure out a way to get out of freshman. So I'm curious what there's.
The answer, Chris, is to start playing more online in August. That's the answer.
No, it is. But I mean, like with the way post real football season, we are going through our dynasty so quickly now that I'm always, every day, or I'm not having an issue because we're playing it frequently. Jason, any thoughts on online? Yeah, I know you don't do very much.
Yeah, I don't think I've played non-dynasty online mode more than just a handful of times since 2014.
Interesting.
Yeah.
For me, the computer is too predictable. And online is completely unpredictable. You don't know what they're going to do.
Doing it a single, there's more than the thing is there's more than just the game. So that's
yes, but I mean,
you got like doing recruiting, which you don't.
Yeah, well, recruiting part of it, but just playing games against the computer, I find
I have found it.
In a lot of
I have found it that the computer adjusts better.
They're much better, but they make weird, like they're reading stuff in ways that are like not human. Like their quarterback will see stuff that I'm like, there's no way a normal human could have seen that. And then like, they're just very predictable. Like what's coming. Like when they can't handle stuff, it's hard for me to like, not like if they can't handle a blitz, it's hard for me to like not spam a specific blitz that they just like can't handle. And then it's like, what am I again? And then it's like, well, I'm not again. The entire reason why I like this game is the chess match of it. And when you play online, you get that. And I don't want to play computer blue, or whatever. I want to play like a human that's flawed and unpredictable and does weird stuff. And you're like, whoa.
Like, with the computer, there's no sense of they're adjusting to you.
Yes.
And there's no sense of they are overreacting to what you're doing. Right?
That's part of it too. We were talking about this the other day. I have a ton of stuff in format and formations that I have a bunch of plays packaged that looks very similar, and I run a lot of I'll run base stuff, and then I'll have a curveball off of that. So when you like are overplaying a look, then I have something that answers that. The computer that's not a part of it, and it's like, well, then what am I even doing? Well, there's no point in doing this. Like if I'm running the same run play 3 times and then I hit you with the play action, that's very satisfying online or against a human, not as much against a computer who like is like, oh yes, I see the play action, I'm going to try and play the play. Like they're not affected by that. So
yeah, there's like a handful of RPO plays that against a human it feels like, okay, I'm hitting you with this, so I can do this. Whereas against a computer, it just feels like, well, this works every time. It's a cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah. So still some work to be done there. Road to Glory. I played this a little bit when it first came out, enjoyed it. I've not jumped back in. I did like it more. They added more this year. They added high school modes and stuff like that. I liked it. I just, like I said, haven't had that much time to do it, and now I'm kind of in Dynasty and enjoying that. But you guys do
I mean,
Road to Glory at all?
The biggest criticism I've heard is people want more positions. I think that's fair. I mostly play quarterback. I have played some running back. Defense, like guys who play corner, I'm like, what's wrong with you? That's crazy to me. Like we're gonna get some reps in, and we're gonna at 5 plays a game, we're gonna get some action. Just the play calling is just
that's tough. I love the play
I just can't. Like it's just I want to. Again, when my whole instinct is chess match and we're running the same 5 plays and you can't really make a lot of adjustments off there, it's just like it's like playing the game with like an eye patch on, which is very unfulfilling because I think that same game mode, again, I forget what it's called in 2K. I think it's great because in 2K it's like playing real basketball. It's like if I go set a screen and roll and then box out, I didn't really do anything, but like I got teammate points for that. Like they know what I did, and I found it like very satisfying. I love the single. I never played any franchise anything in 2K. I pretty much only did the single player mode because I found it really satisfying to just like play basketball and do the things you're supposed to do. It's like, oh, you filled the lane correctly. It's like, yeah, because we're running a 3-on-2 break, and you want to have floor spacing. It knows what you're supposed to do, and there's just not enough of that. There's some of that. They did a little bit better. But I just the play calling is brutal, and it just
could also be realistic though, given the college football coaches we see out there.
I know, but as a playing experience, I just can't do it. It's just like, come on, let me cook here.
It feels like the Road to Glory stuff is on a decent path. Like once you tell one story with it, it's like okay. When 26 came out, me and my kid played through. We're like, okay, we came up with, like we go to I forget where we started out. I think Pitt or something. Like we ended up at Pitt and like we flunked out. And we ended up at Arizona State and flunked out even harder. And then like finished up at Wisconsin and like academic all-star, right? Like it's this redemption story of going to getting ourselves a Big Ten degree after flunking out of party school Arizona State, right? And it's like that's a satisfying story. To get there was this like very video gamey micromanagey system. Like the off-field story stuff is like, do you want to go to class this week? Push yes to go to class. And it's like it's unlike recruiting, the set it and forget it, like where you can just tweak it over time. It is you have to completely redo it. And there's nothing fun about it. Like there's little story elements that pop up, but it's like, do you want to do this obviously bad thing? Push yes to do the obviously bad thing. You will be immediately punished for doing the obviously bad. Whereas 10 years ago in the equivalent, or 15 years ago in the equivalent of this version, it's like you might get away with it. I don't know.
That's crazy that it has been almost 15 years. Like since like I know that, but also it feels like 5 years.
Also, Ubben, like you're saying, the getting points for teammate stuff. Like when I play like Battlefield or Marvel Rivals or whatever, I like playing like the healer, the engineer, like not necessarily the person who is doing the shooting. I like setting up the shooting. I like healing the teammates and managing.
Like when you
like I want that in football. I want to be the tight end, the fullback. Like I would love getting points for someone scored and I set it up. I didn't carry the ball, but I was the coach on the field managing the team, whether I made the throw or not. That
That's
would be
the thing that's
so
really
much
satisfying
fun
in 2K is in 2K, like when you start, your guy is not very good. So like you can't really score, you can't really shoot. So it's like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna set some real hard screens and we are gonna get in position. We're gonna box out and we're gonna get the ball to like LeBron or whatever. Like we're gonna do what we got to do as a rookie to like find a way to contribute. And yeah, that I feel like is missing a little bit in Road to Glory.
Ultimate Team is not something I really do.
No, Can I rant about Ultimate Team?
No,
Chris?
hold on. I will start off by saying I know it is a very popular mode. I know a lot of people like playing it. Our friend Matt Brown at Extra Points got really into it. It's the way a lot of kids play today because they're not connected to teams, they're connected to individual players. I love a lot of the college football legends who are available in that game. And I think that's really cool. I wish we could bring back the all-time teams and make them playable, but you can't for all the licensing reasons and all that kind of stuff. But you can get individual players and you put them in Ultimate Team. It's like, I see the draw of it. It's also where EA makes a lot more money, as you can see, as every time you X out of a game, they're trying to get you back into that to buy something in the game. So like, I understand it. I understand why people would like it. It's not my thing. I cannot comment on if it's any good or not. Neither of you guys seem to be able to as well.
I played it a little bit, like, because I was curious, because I hadn't really done it in Madden. I didn't do it at all last year, and I started doing it this year, and I was like, this sucks. Like, I get, like, it is a moneymaker, but it's frustrating for me, the people that embrace Ultimate Team, because it is a moneymaker, and I feel like it takes away from all the time that you want to spend on promoting and developing Ultimate Team, because EA is a business, takes away from making the actual gameplay better, which is frustrating for me. And like, I just don't play Ultimate Team, please. Please play Dynasty, play online, please, and don't do cheese plays.
I think I last played Ultimate Team for like 8 minutes on Madden in like 2016 or something. Like, it feels to me like a mobile game. It does not feel like a console game. It's not for me, and I don't need the ads popping up every like fifth time I turn on the game. You can save the ads. I'm never going to spend a single cent.
No.
And a reminder, that is what is available in NBA 2K26 now with the college basketball. You can like get Draymond Green for Michigan State, Brianna Stewart at UConn, Rip Hamilton's at UConn, ton of former players in them. But that is the mode in which you can use them. And in basketball, I can kind of see it because like that's kind of the culture of basketball. It just kind of move players around on teams. It's just not my thing for college football. Create a team. This did not work for me at all in CFB 25. I could not get it to work. The website, none of it. I've not tried it in 26, so I can't tell you if it's better or worse. Have either of you guys done it?
You can make some crazy stuff. I'll say that. I've gotten it to work. Yeah, like you can make some like the thing The main thing is the stadiums. Like, all the stadiums are preset current FPS stadiums. So like, if you want to create a team, you have to have one with like very minimal signage. Like, I think it might be App States is like, okay, that's a pretty serviceable amount of App State signage you can kind of ignore for like your made up team. There are a handful of others, but it's like 5 teams out of the 140 whatever stadiums, counting neutral sites, where there's not an oppressive amount of signage that tells you this is a real stadium that does not belong to your made-up team. So, like, more generic stadiums and or the ability to, like, just replace signage with your team's colors would go a really long way. Like, I love creating teams. Like, that was a thing I did all the time back in the day, right? Like, back in the 2000s in NCAA. So, like, if they fixed that and or made it so that your creative team, you put them in Dynasty, and after 5 years, we've outgrown our stadium, we're going to build a bigger one. I would like live and create a team if that was a thing.
One of the reasons I bought Madden 2005 was because that was the one where you could create new stadiums and relocate teams. And I like, you can do it different ways, but it was so easy on Madden 2005, I remember. And that's a lot of fun just to like create that stadium in franchise mode. And I moved the Cowboys to Anchorage, Alaska. So that, like, if you can get it to that level, like you said, building a new college stadium for your team, I think would be a lot of fun. Would probably get me to do it a bit more as well.
I'm not going to spend the time on it. I like the people that create like real and fake schools that are compelling content. I don't
by the way, shout out to the Southland Conference and FCS.
They made the whole league awesome.
2 years in a row, they've created the whole league, and you can go download them in there.
Incredible. But it's a little bit like, so I play PGA 2K, not as much as I have in the past, but I play that a lot. And you can create any course, that exists. And among them, so I don't know how much you guys know about Augusta National. They've let one video game ever create their course on the game. You can't create it.
Like, it was EA Sports, right? I bought that game after last year's Masters, and I like playing it to like chill out. Yeah.
Well, anyway, there's code names that help you find the Augusta National on PGA, but these courses that people make take forever to do. But some people This is just like their thing, and like
Look, that's Minecraft and Roblox. That's all.
I
that's
know.
all the
I
kids
don't
do
know why
nowadays.
people do it, but I love that they do it because it's hugely like it's awesome. There's a Google map that I use that you can literally search the globe and it will tell you if that course somebody has created on the game, and you can go look it up and play it on the game. It's awesome. Like there's a bunch, like when I lived in Knoxville, there's like 3 courses in Knoxville that are on the video game.
That's
like
cool.
courses that I have, like it is awesome. I kind of feel the same way about Create a Team. It's like I'm glad it exists. I love the people that do it and make the experience better for people. But like I'm just never gonna touch it because that's just not how my brain works, and that's not something I want to spend time on.
Jason, question for you. You mentioned like your kid plays. Like, what are the ways he plays the game?
Well, mainly it was as soon as we got the game, she and I did Road to Glory together.
Sorry, I've met your
No, it's all
daughter.
good.
Yes, I'm
It's all
sorry
good.
about that.
At WrestleMania, no less.
At WrestleMania, yep.
25, CFP 25. This was kind of fun. Get the download. It's the first moment of video game college football in over a decade, right? My kid's there. In like she had only like months earlier even barely begun to get into football. I get the controller and I'm like, here, you do it, right? Like she got first rep on it. So like she had never played a football video game before. She like logs on as USC, throws a touchdown, right? And she's like, oh cool, this is fun. So that was fun. And then 26 we played Road to Glory together. She hasn't played a whole lot. She's dabbled a little bit. As she was becoming a flag football quarterback, high school flag football quarterback in real life. But yeah, that was fun. And like mainly it was the storytelling stuff. Like we did a Delaware Dynasty, which again was mostly focused on recruiting. We just simmed through the games. Sorry, Ubben. We simmed through the games and got straight to recruiting.
Sick behavior.
And like we had all these stories about all these recruits she wanted us to get, and like the screenshot on the homepage profile on our Xbox is still this dude this 2-star we got at Delaware. This Hawaii kid named Junior Mama is still the homepage on our Xbox from like the first day of CFP 26.
That's great.
Nice.
Any final thoughts about CFP 26? Good, bad, and different that we didn't touch on?
No, I think my 30,000 foot take is it's greatly enjoyable. I love having college football video game back in my life. I missed it a ton. I don't have a lot of free time in my current stage of life, but when I have a minute, it is nice that I have a college football game that is good and is fun to play. It is not perfect. It has a lot of things, but like having that just back to play has brought me like an immense amount of joy the last 2 years. So shout out to EA for that. Ultimately, it's fun.
I still think it's great. You know, with the EA basketball proposal, they were pitching like a minimum of like 3 games in 6 years. They may not make a new game every year because there was only incremental updates you can do. And that's kind of the conversation around sports games. Do you need to make a new one every year if you're just making incremental updates? Can you just do a roster update or a DLC or something? But they want to sell games. They want to kind of do the whole thing. There are no plans to delay college football a year to just update a roster. But like, I wouldn't have a problem if they did. Like there aren't that many gaping holes. I don't see that many gaping holes. I love it. I'm glad it's back. It's the only game I play. The whole reason I got the Xbox was just for this game. I'm still having a lot of fun with it. So I like it.
Yeah.
Still good.
I play this. I play FIFA and I play PGA 2K. That's pretty much it. My wife is more of she plays like, the what is the game with the red-haired girl? It's like weird like steampunk game. What is that called? Horizon. She's big into Horizon.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I shout out to the soundtrack. Shout out to the bands and the producers who put together the soundtrack.
Much better than the drumming. Thank you for killing the drumming and bringing the horns.
Last year was non-stop, relentless drumming. This year we got actual songs. We got some Paramore,
and those
some
updates,
Rich Homie Quan, some Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
They added a whole list. We got some Halsey. Like it's actually a really, really good soundtrack at this point.
That is, I like it. It's great. It feels more like college football, but also like it's just the mixture of band covers and fight songs is great.
Yeah,
I love
and
it.
it's like it's not like stereotypical sports music. It's like actual sports. Like you go to an actual college football game, you'll probably hear a Miley Cyrus song, right?
Yeah,
but that's not what the casual would assume is football music. So like I appreciate the actual level of ball knowing in the soundtrack.
Yes. So CFP 27 real quick. Who's going to be on the cover? We had a group of people the first time. We had Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith
Lane
in
Kiffin.
CFP 26. For CFP
I mean,
27,
listen,
To me, it's got to be Arch, and maybe an Arch only cover.
It's Arch if he wants it. It seems like Arch has had
Yes.
a weird relationship with this video game in that the first year he wasn't going to be on the game, and then he was. They did like the standalone commercial, and it was like kind of awkward because he's the backup quarterback. And then last year, there's 50 people on the cover, and the most famous person in the sport is not on the cover. Like that, I'm sure that was a thing. So it's like if he wants it, yeah. But I suspect, especially considering how he played last year, I think he would feel like it would rub people the wrong way. I don't think it's going to be Arch. I think Arch is the obvious choice, and I'm sure they'll ask. I'm sure he'll say no. So,
who do you think it'll be?
Is it Signetti?
Signetti would be a pretty interesting choice.
I mean, like, if you want to talk about a Dynasty mode cover guy, like, there's literally no one better in the history of college football for Dynasty mode than Signetti.
They probably will just do a big collection of people again. I wonder at what point you go to individual player, but they've done big group of players 2 years in a row. That's probably
it's kind of funny because like Jeremiah Smith would be a pretty good choice, but they already did him.
And I also wonder if they would do a guy that has switched schools, not in the past, but like Sam Levitt would be a decent pick, but like he's never played for LSU.
Sam Levitt doesn't need,
Well, that's my point though. Like Sam Levitt's probably gonna have a pretty something to say. I mean, Dante Moore would be kind of an interesting pick.
But if you get Sam Levitt and Lane Kiffin, then you got to cover.
Yeah, but then it's like, would you do Gunnar? Like, is Gunnar Stockton like good enough to do? I don't know. Like, probably not, right? But like, I don't know. I don't think they have a good choice. Like, I don't think Malachi Toney would be a ball knowers pick, but nobody knows who Malachi Toney is. If you didn't,
he'll be in the group. Yeah, he'll be in the group for sure.
I think you'll have a group. When I liked last year's cover, I thought it was fine. I don't like that we've lost the cachet of college football cover boy. I kind of don't like that.
Right. I do wonder, there may be a point, maybe not. I do wonder if there's a point we go individual athlete like we do.
Yeah, aesthetically the covers have been good, but functionally I miss like that's the guy, So.
I'm going to put my money on Signetti.
Yeah.
Like
so
Signetti.
That's our review of College Football 26, a game we still love and enjoy, and we'll update everybody listening on how our dynasty modes go. I think I got Sam pretty soon. So we
don't
be
play till the end of the season, Chris. Bunch Formation Bowl 3 is not for a while. So
end of the season, we will stream that on the Bunch Formation YouTube channel. Subscribe to that if you haven't.
Looks like you got to play Georgia tonight, Chris.
Yes, I do. I got to play Georgia. Before we move on to the end of the show, we're gonna get David's got a take here. Wanted to get this out, so we're gonna move into the heat check.
Analytics, throw them in the garbage.
So. I've got a lot of thoughts about food, one or the other. My wife and I went out on Friday for Valentine's Day because calendar is meaningless, and the actual practice of trying to go to dinner on Valentine's is a nightmare. And once you've been married for a long time, it's like, let's just move it a week and not have to deal with the rush. So anyway, we were going to go to the Melting Pot. My wife likes Melting Pot. I'm not the hugest fan. It's fine.
I like it.
But the Melting Pot has had a signature dressing on their salad for a long time. And several years ago, they got rid of said salad dressing. And now they have this amalgamation of lesser dressings, if we're keeping it a buck, So I do have some salad dressings that I like. Top of that tier is the Paula Deen's restaurant, Poppy Seed Restaurant. Jason, have you been to a Paula Deen's restaurant before?
No, I cannot say that I have.
Oh, it's good. Anyway, I had this poppy seed dressing, and my take was, I don't really want to do their dressings. I'm going to take my dressing to the restaurant, order the salad with no dressing on it because it's part of the course. The salad's coming. You can't just not get a salad, and then put my own dressing that I know that I love on there rather than one of their lesser dressings.
How did you transport this dressing?
Well, so here's the catch to this, okay? We have small children. Getting out of the house is an issue and constantly it's frantic. So the postscript of this is that I forgot to bring the actual dressing, but I had every intention of doing so. I will the next opportunity that I get. My wife was not pleased. Generally, the approval rating on this practice is hovering in the single digits at best.
Yeah, let me give you some reactions, by the way, from the group chat. Ralph Russo said that if you walked into a restaurant with your own salad dressing, he is absolutely throwing you out. I was at lunch with Ari Wasserman when you texted us. He asked if you were mentally ill. It did not go over well. But Jason,
So-
as a neutral third party here,
I will say, to say simply, I would just put it in my wife's purse. And while I did forget the dressing, my wife was disappointed in the dressing that she ordered, and I said, if I had brought the Paula Deen's dressing, you'd be putting it on your salad right now after roasting me for it, wouldn't you? And she said, yeah, probably.
So what flavor varietal of dressing was this?
So it's like a poppy seed, like kind of like a cousin of a French sort of. I
Okay.
don't really like ranch dressing. It's a French.
Okay.
It's like a cousin of a French dressing, but like kind of fruitier and with like the chutzpah of the poppy seed.
I think I
It's
can
got something
picture it.
behind it.
So
Yeah.
if this is a ranch or anything with any sort of cream to it, this is an immediate dismissal rejection because
Sure.
like you're walking around with that in your backpack, purse, pocket, whatever,
Mhm.
and it's like getting warm. That's
yeah,
weird,
that seems
right.
problematic. Yes.
But if it's more of an oily, then
Yes.
that's a bit less of a problem. It's still quite strange, I'm not going to lie. But if you're rolling up with the holster full of poppy seed, then I think you're going to need to make it kind of a bit, right? Like you're like put on a little bit of a gunslinger.
The plan
air
was
to
just
it.
make it subtle, just not acknowledge
No,
it, pull it
no,
out.
you're not
'Cause
going to be able to
have-
sneak it.
I will say I have done this with maple syrup in the past.
Then you're
if
going to
I'm
look like
somewhere.
you're like a Bond villain, like spiking your own salad or something.
Perhaps, but it's a really good dressing. And,
I think you gotta just acknowledge that people are going to notice and think it's unique. So you just put on a show, put on a real big spectacle. Of it.
Okay. Well, the listenership can decide. I think it's
Yes.
fine. If I'm going to pay that much money for a meal, I'm going to want to have it as good as possible. So,
either tweet at us or send your emails to bunchformationpod@gmail.com. We'll let David know what you think. All right,
Yeah.
now we're going to end the show the way we always do, and that is by remembering some guys.
It's better than this. Guys being dudes.
And it's going to be a somber edition of remembering some guys. Like I'm going to list Rondale Moore, former Purdue All-American, who was found dead over the weekend. Appeared to apparently take his own life in a very sad situation. Don't know all the details onto why, but man, Rondale Moore, 25 years old. He's with the Vikings. He was drafted by the Cardinals. Unbelievably fun player at Purdue, All-American in 2018. They beat Ohio State, the Tyler Trent game, almost 1,300 receiving yards that year. Had trouble staying healthy, had some knee injuries, but wanted to remember Rondale Moore for being an awesome electric Purdue legend.
just a
And our
hilariously
thoughts
fast player. And for his size, like curiously strong. Like you could not tackle this guy, and he's tiny. And it was, I just loved watching him as a member of the small person community. I've appreciated that.
I think quite arguably one of the 10 or so coolest players of the 2010s.
Yes.
A Purdue player that Ohio State could not solve.
Mhm.
That alone, there are only so many examples of that in history. Also, as a person wearing an Atlanta Falcons hoodie, I should say he was the last Falcons acquisition I was excited about for I don't even know how many years. One of my favorite college football players ever.
Yeah, great player. I wanted to take this time to remember Wes Rucker. Wes, a lot of you have seen the news this week. Died in a car accident. Wes was covered Tennessee for 25-something years. I got to know Wes a decent bit on the Tennessee beat when I was on it. Spent a lot of time talking to him about random stuff over the year. Wes loved to talk your ear off about anything and everything. And Wes had opinions on all kinds of stuff and everything and anything, but he was unapologetically Wes all the time. Just a unique personality. It came out in his writing. And I think just a super kind soul. Chris, Jason, we've all worked in this business a long time. Not everybody in the business is like that. I think the majority of people are, but there's a lot of people that just have a ton of ego and aren't willing to help other people or be kind to other people. And that was not Wes. And, the Tennessee beat in particular, there can be warring factions on that beat. And Wes always stayed above it. And I always appreciated that. And I appreciated the conversations that he had. left behind a wife and a young son and an unborn daughter. And if you can contribute to the GoFundMe, please do that. A lot of people have.
We'll
good to
put
see
that in the
that.
show.
Wes-
It's linked in the show notes, by the way.
Wes has been through a lot in his life. He had a stroke a few years back, had to relearn how to walk. And I think as a result of that, it was tough for him to get life insurance. And so his family's going to need that. And appreciate everybody who's donated. Please do that.
Yeah, and also want to pay respect to Joey Knight, longtime writer for the Tampa Tribune, Tampa Bay Times, covered USF, covered Florida, around there for a long time. Worked with our now colleague Matt Baker, very close for a long time. He was battling an illness, so very sad kind of end of the week and weekend in college football with players and media members passing. But wanted to take some time to remember those guys. Wes in particular, so many stories of him being helpful to people as they were starting their media careers. He always talked about his family, so really tough loss.
Yeah, I was going through some of the messages that I had with Wes, and one of the ones that meant a lot to me was after my mom passed a few years ago. He sent me a really heartfelt note about that, and I just keep going back to, like, Wes was just unfailingly kind to everybody. Just didn't have a lot of time for just being a jerk. And I think it's a lot of those in the business, and I appreciate Wes. And a lot of people looked up to him, and a lot of people saw him as larger than life, and he never acted like that. So shout out to Wes Rucker. We're going to miss you, man.
I mean, I think the thing about Wes's work, Wes's writing, it never felt like someone trying to sound like a media member. It sounded like a person being a person. And he was extremely distinct, not only among sports writers, but among, like, people covering the SEC, where it can be very easy to believe that you are covering state politics. To be fair, to some extent you are. But, like, it very much felt like a person who knows a lot about a thing saying what they really thought about the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that'll do it here. Thank you to Jason Kirk for joining the show. We will catch you in the Discord and on the EA servers in the coming weeks. David and I will be back later this week. We got some interviews coming up. We'll hit the new. It hadn't been a ton of college football news, but we'll get into news at some point as well. So stay tuned to the feed for that. So that will do it here for Jason Kirk, for David Ubben. I'm Chris Vannini. Thank you for listening and watching Punch Formation, and we will talk to you later in the week.
And please bring back the turnover chain.
In the video game in particular.
I think it is in the game, actually.
Yeah. I know Tulane's Mardi Gras beats.
There's a lot of them in the game for sure, but I don't know if Miami's is in there. We'll have to find out.
Great touch.